Also, thank you for your coming. We really enjoy with you for these 9 days. We're going to miss you. What I can say is mountain never met by people or human being can meet again. So we wish you all the best and good luck for your next plan or for your travel back and long life. So guys, long life, maisha marefu. Maisha marefu. Cheers. We say maisha marefu.
Maisha marefu.
Welcome. After at least an 18-hour flight for most of our climbing group from the US and two Australians, Tino and Ben, we begin to arrive at Kilimanjaro International Airport over a couple-day period beginning on October 8, 2024. It's a quite small airport, basically one long landing strip, but the important thing is the length of that runway, which can accommodate up to a 747. We proceed to buy our visas, and then we exit the back of the terminal where the guides from the prospective companies await to take us on a fairly long drive to our hotels in Moshi.
Sous le soleil brûlant de la savane, les éléphants marchent avec leurs cabanes. Les girafes hautes touchent les étoiles, là où les lions font leur maraude royale. Dans les rivières, la danse des hippos, les zèbres galopent avec leurs potes. Les gazelles bondissent comme des pros, les babouins jouent en riant côte à côte. Chantons ensemble pour la terre en mer, pour les animaux qui vagabondent sans barrière. Des tambours dans le cœur et sur la terre, leurs histoires résonnent dans la clairière.
Umefanya manje duniani. Weka mambo sawa. Usiwije. Sina maneno lakini. Yale manani yetu lisha ya chukua.
The next day, October 9th, we go on a tour of the city's open markets for our climbing members who have arrived so far. On the right here is Mike, and behind him is Jessica and Eric, and here, center left, are other members of our group. We walk down to a railroad which connects a commerce route between Arusha and as far away as Dar es Salaam. Construction started in 1893 and finished in 1911 by German workers. I was surprised to learn later that the railroad ends just several hundred yards beyond where this photo was taken.
Hello, welcome. This is Bill. Today is moving day for our group. We start by getting our bags weighed and then put on top of the van. And we start the 50-mile ride to the La Ronda Rosa gate for the start of our climb up Kilimanjaro. The entire Mount Kilimanjaro National Park. It also includes Moshi here. And the blue line is the route that we took by the transport van to the starting gate right here. And if you look over here, scroll over here, you can see the Kilimanjaro International Airport. That is like 25 miles from Moshi to the airport. And it's 50 miles from Moshi along this blue line here to the starting gate, Landa Rosa gate. And I just want to point out here, this is where, right here is where we saw the giraffes at, right here. Zoom in there, you can see they were right in here somewhere, and we probably pulled off the road right in here somewhere. So I thought that was interesting. Put that into perspective. So yeah, we went winding up this dirt road here. Once we got into the, well, this is a managed, I guess you could call this a managed forested area where they were, cutting trees down at different times and then replanting them. At first, I thought they were cutting into the national park itself, but it looks like the borders of the park go along here and then down. So they're not actually cutting in the park. But yeah, we wound our way up through here. And the Landa Rosa camp is right here. Remember, we had a box lunch there. And stayed around there for an hour or two before we started hiking.
Okay, leaving. You're leaving the day. No, I was fine. You go send. No. You can leave the deck. You want to here. You can leave the deck.
And we started up, and we eventually came to my Kabwa camp, right here. I remember walking up this final hill here. It was pretty good hike. A lot of people standing around on the side of the trail.
Ya mama. Ay ya mama. Ya mama. Ya mama. Ya mama. Ajolona ene mele jama. Ya mama. Ya mama. Ya mama. Ya mama. Ya mama. Ya mama. Agelina wanara hajama.
Pink line here represents day 2. We were finishing out in the rainforest here. Remember when the guide said, I'll take a look at the big trees here in the rainforest because you're not going to see them for a while. And we would have been right about in here. And we broke out very quickly into the moorland or the heathland areas where, shrub and very small trees. And we have a video here, taken right here.
Oh.
Below the ridge?
Here.
And we continued up this ridge here. We broke out up on top on the Shira Plateau, right here. and we made our way to Shira Camp 1. So here we are at Shira 1 camp, and just up the trail a little bit, we cross a little creek, and we see a tiny, what looks to be a tiny rock there, but that rock is actually
I know that I must do what's right, sure as Kilimanjaro rises like Olympus above the Serengeti. I seek to cure what's deep inside, frightened of this thing that I've become. Gonna take the life that drives me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I guess the rain's down in Africa. You're gonna take some time to do the things we never I hear the drums echoing tonight, and she hears only whispers of some quiet conversation.
Okay, here's an overview of our entire adventure in Tanzania. We started here in Moshi, and the blue line is the travel route to the starting gate, and the various different colors of the route or the days, the different days that we hiked. So we're up to day 4 and 5. Day 5 is the white part here, northern route. So we are now into the northern side of the mountain here now, right here. And incidentally, this offers some of the iconic photos of Mount Kilimanjaro, which are from Tanzania, because the mountain appears fuller, probably due to the fact that the western breach over here knocked out part of the mountain, and you can't see the full broadness of the mountain from Moshi. So so here we are at day 4. We hiked up the blue line to Lava Tower, and we came back down to this where it forks off here, and we hiked down the yellow line here, the route down to Moyer Hut Camp. And where it divides here is where we saw the masked man up on the boulder. Boy, these porters are really incredible. They work like crazy hauling our stuff around, and yet they find the time to go playing up on the rocks. And that's what they were doing that day. So we came down here, and I broke my kneecap right down in here somewhere, I believe. I'm not sure, but I slid, and I did like a split. I can feel the back of my leg, just the muscles just stretching apart like crazy, and then I must have a little bit foggy after that. But to make a long story short, I did have some medication for arthritis in that very knee, and it was steroid anti-inflammatory medication. So somehow it got me through the rest of the hike, the rest of the climb up and down. I don't know how it did, but I made it. Our hut camp, probably the most level part of the most level camp that we came to, and maybe had a better night's sleep because we weren't sleeping on a hillside. And we came out from that camp, and we followed the white line over here to Buffalo Camp, which is right there. Actually getting the dust brushed off you at the end of the day is a service given to all. I can't say enough good things about the ultimate Kilimanjaro staff and just the Tanzanian people in general. They are a great group of people.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
The cooking of the night's meal goes on as the lower slopes of Kilimanjaro reflect the precipitation we got earlier in the day, which was rain and sleet.
Ready to tap out? I mean, that hour nap I had between 3:30 and 4:30. I don't nap, but that was insane. Like I felt like $1 million coming out of that.
I take one that's too long. You wake up and you just feel like cold.
Yeah, that's how I normally am, like any length of time. I feel
Okay, I'm starting with a little wider overview here of the park. And right down here, this is the Tanzania-Kenya border right here. It runs right along the rainforest pretty much. And the blue line here, of course, as I said before, is our travel route up to the starting gate. And we're concentrating here on the black line here now. This is the first day in our climb that we encountered any kind of precipitation. It rained pretty good for some of us who were caught out. The younger, quicker climbers in our group, which includes most of our group, got into camp, third cave's camp, before it started raining. I understand they had I think a mixture of rain and sleet. As you can see here, from third cave's camp, we took a right-hand turn pretty much straight up over the hill, and this will set us up to get us up to Kibo Hut, and that's going to be our base camp for our climb up to the summit. It's a moonlight night over Third Cave Camp and the summit, which looms very close in our future. As was the case with every morning, the porters have our gear waiting for us on departure after breakfast. We walk by Mawenzi Peak on our left. Tomorrow we'll be looking down on it. An awful lot of climbing to do to reach Kibo Hut Camp, 3,000 vertical feet. Getting closer to base camp, the landscape becomes more stark but beautiful in this alpine desert zone as we are at 15,000 feet. The land itself reminds me a lot of the photos coming down from the rovers on Mars. Finally, base camp in sight, a surreal, overcast and gloomy place. We reach 15,000 feet in elevation, very close to the Arctic zone. I can remember walking this little hill to our tent area after registering below. Personally, I was very fatigued. It was still early in the day though, 11:55 a.m. I was able to take it easy the rest of the day and got about 2 hours of sleep, and thankfully felt pretty good after that. When I got up at 10:20 p.m. for the hike up to the summit, I had a quick breakfast, and me and the guide hit the trail quickly. We take our final health checks at this time of the expedition. Normally we do it right after breakfast and after dinner. So we have our oxygen level recorded and our heart rate. And if the oxygen level goes too low or the heart rate goes too high, you could be asked to leave the mountain. Well, we go to bed early that night, but then again, we usually do go to bed early around 7:30, 8 o'clock. I mean, it gets dark early. But this night being a little different, we have to get up 3 hours later at 11 p.m. This photo was taken at 1 a.m. during our summit climb by a group member. The elevation here is 16,175 feet. We pulled even with Mawenzi Peak in the background. It is one of 3 peaks in the Kilimanjaro system. We are headed now for the highest, Uhura Peak. Keeping in mind I left an hour early, these 3 from right to left, Brad, Chris, and Brian, made it to the top quicker than anyone. By looking at the timestamps and the photo details while making this documentary, I found that they were quicker by more than 50 minutes. Great job, guys. Okay, since we last did a 3D map together here, we started at Kibo Hut on summit night, and then the red course here is the route up to the summit. We did it all at nighttime, and we came up here to Gilman's Point, which is breaking out on the Berry Summit rim. I think you probably saw that in the video I just did. And so we went out along the crater rim here, the outer crater rim. This is the inner crater rim over here, the caldera, and you can even smell sulfur there. It's been, I think it last erupted like 200 years ago. So yeah, we went out along this rim here. Here's Stella Point, and we got out here to Uhura Peak. Okay, and I think we only stayed there for like 20 to 30 minutes. The guide said it wasn't a good idea to stay at high altitude very long. So we turned around, retraced our tracks a little bit, and we got down here to Stella Point, made a right, and we started the long descent down, 7,000 vertical feet. And this is pretty much a one-way. This is the route they used to go down. Now, if you look over here, this is the route that they used to go up. But yeah, every group that climbs the Kilimanjaro on the different routes, they all funnel down through here on the way down. So we got down here to Barafa Camp. Yeah, this is a wild place here. You got trails intersecting, and it is really something. It reminds me of a shanty town, like in South America, where they had a gold strike and a little town sprung up. It is, yeah, it's really crazy, and then we transitioned down into the lower Bafara camp. Let me see, right here. This is some really hard hiking in through here. You can't tell it, but we got down into the lower Bafara camp, right down in here, and we ate there. I think we spent a couple hours there. They had everything set up. They had our tent set up, and the cooking tent and the mess tent, and we only spent like 2 hours there. We were on a mission to get back down to where we could finally get out the next day, get out to civilization the next day. So we went down here to Millennium Camp. We weren't supposed to stay here at this camp. We were supposed to go down even further. We were supposed to go down to here. But I guess some of the group ahead of me, they really couldn't go no farther. And I know I couldn't. I barely made it to Millennium Camp. My legs collapsed like 3 times. Luckily, I had a guide on each side of me to catch me. And I don't know how much my broken kneecap had to do with it, but pretty much both legs felt the same. So yeah, we stayed here at Millennium Camp overnight. And then that was our final campsite on the mountain. And then the white line here represents the final hike down to Muka Gate, the final gate. Musha Camp. Musha Gate. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Musha Gate. And this is all rainforest here. And if you zoom in here, I think some of us will recognize the buildings here, the round buildings. We got ourselves some beer and cold refreshments here. And then we got on our transport van and went down into Moshi here. Not too far away. So yeah, we came down here and hung a left and got back to our hotel room in Moshi. But you can see here, when we were at the summit at Uhura Peak, we actually weren't too far away from Lava Tower, just down across the western breach here. So we almost came full circle here, you know, having gone the whole way around Mount Kilimanjaro on the northern side and up around here, just about did full circle.
Final downhill.
But it's probably not like specific to finance, but just
Really hard day. One final push. And there's Benny. You made it.
I'll be at my
We'll be there.
toes you can step on depending on who's involved.
Like one of my fears for the trip.
One final push.
Like those types of things.
It's rocky. And we will be in
Why is that?
the forest soon enough.
Okay, after descending some more, you can see that we're getting into some bigger, slightly bigger trees and shrub, and you see Spanish moss hanging on those shrubs. And I mean, we're getting closer to the rainforest. Not quite there yet, but the climate is getting warmer.
Officially giving her a why.
This is your last mountain climb. There you go.
And we have the signature of Conservation Commissioner, okay, down here. And this is the point you reach, Uhuru Peak. Even the time is there, all right? Yeah, so now, no, I mean, usually according to our tradition, when someone gives you something, you have to follow him. But for the, yeah, Follow him because of
We get back on the bus.
big respect to you. I will come to you. So
Oh, okay.
sit where you are. Yeah, that is the tradition.
Yeah.
But you are
That makes
very
sense.
special, so I
Brian.
will come to
Brian.
you.
Get up here,
Because
Brian.
you are- So, who's the first? He is the Florentino.
Oh, that's
Tino.
Second one goes to B. And then the third one goes to
Get up.
and then the fourth one goes to Benjamin.
Oh, yeah.
Then this is goes to Jessica. Jeff. Jimmy, James.
Jimmy!
Jamas from Kamada.
I don't go by James. Don't ever hear.
This is Christopher. And then I do have in my hand Brad.
Brad!
And then is Brad. Brad.
Yeah, my name's not Mark.
And this goes to Mark. Catherine.
Daddy!
And this goes to Megan.
Something for the vegan.
Yeah, General.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.